Yep, it is. It's June 27, and we are doing a mock draft. The 2025-2026 season is still, I want to say, 4 months away. I'm not sure when the season's starting. It's a long way away, but we are going to do a mock draft. I've got 6 analysts, I think, involved, and 6 members of the Old Man Squad Discord channel jumping in. It's a 12-team, 9-cat, 20-second pick timer, so it's going to be a really quick one. So hopefully only about half an hour. Now, usually I do this during the show, but I don't want to stop the show to do this. So I will remind you that Bet Online continues to be your number one source for all your sports betting action. No more NBA, sadly. Summer League's coming up. Maybe you can bet on some Summer League games. Baseball is in full swing. Football season is not far away. Bet Online has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores. Even live in-game betting from MLB, UFC, tennis, NFL futures. BetOnline remains your choice for sports wagering info. And in between games, or just when there's no games on, or at halftime, whenever you want, head over to the BetOnline Casino. All the top Vegas-style games, including poker, live casino, a ton of other games that I don't know what they are, but I'm sure they're fun. Head to the website. Take advantage of their industry-leading VIP program with level up bonuses and weekly cash boosts. Bet Online, the game starts here. All right, let's bring this up. We don't want that screen. We want this screen. Now, how big do we want to make this? You don't need to see my head. So I am not in this draft. So let me just preface by saying I'm not drafting. A little bit easier to do a show. I will just let them know. Let's go. About to start. 30 seconds. Surely that's enough time, is it? For people? I think it is. So let's see. As we know, we've got, excuse me, lots of coughing. We have Tyrese Halliburton, we have Jason Tatum, we have Damian Lillard all out. I think the top 3 will be fairly set. Beyond that, it's going to be really interesting. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's get this thing going. Hopefully, Pill Crosby. Sorry, it looked like Phil. Pill Crosby. Hopefully, Pill is ready to go in 30 seconds. It looks like most people are in here. Pill his name's not green, but let's go. All right, let's go. Starting now. Let's go. Pill Crosby. Let's tag him just to be sure. His name isn't green. Anyway, let's go. Oh, he's ready. Okay, paused. We are going. All right. Pick number 1, Nikola Jokic. There we go. It was going to be Jokic. It was going to be Wemby or possibly Shea. Jokic, not surprising. Wemby goes second to Green Jeans. So that's Yuri. Pretty sure. Shea goes at 3. So no real surprises. Luka at 4. I think this is going to be consensus top 4 next season. This is where it gets interesting. This is probably where we would be looking at Halliburton or Tatum potentially. Anthony Davis is probably the best per minute, player here, but a lot of question marks. And great, it's going to auto draft. Do I want to pause and just see? Nah, who cares? All right, James Harden goes at 5. I think he'll be a first rounder, but I don't think he'll go at 5. But obviously, timer expired and whatever. I'm not going back. It's first draft. Anthony Davis does go at 6, so let's assume he would have gone at 5 potentially. Davis at 6. I mean, like I said, per minute, per game, this could be fine. Let's see what happens with the injuries. Chad auto picked Anthony Edwards. Don't know whether he meant to do that, but hey, these guys know it's a 20-second pick timer, so whatever. Trae Young, interesting. Trae Young at 8. Now, the Hawks obviously signing Kristaps Porzingis. Jalen Johnson is healthy. They are, Thunder Dan, the ranks are jacked up. They are, they're a bit wacky. Figure it out. So, yes, the Hawks are going to be very competitive, I think, this season. Trae, obviously, he has a few holes in his game, but he's very good at other things. So this first round, wow. This first round, beyond, as I said, the top 4, I think you could make a case for a lot of these guys to go at pick 5. Bam Adebayo at 11 is interesting. Not someone I'd be taking in the first round, but hey, it's a mock draft. We're early. Cade at 12. I love Cade at 12. Let's see who he pairs in with. Donovan Mitchell. Okay, so that's Thunder Dan Palio. He takes Cade and Donovan. I love Cade. Donovan, I'm not so sure about, but again, this from about pick 6 through to pick, I don't know, middle of the second round, you could probably make a case for a dozen players to go in the first round. So Giannis did go at 9 as well, followed by Cat. Steph Curry, he goes at pick 15. He is someone I think will probably go in the first round in a lot of drafts. I'm very curious to see where this guy goes. Jalen Williams. Jalen Johnson is another one, and Amen Thompson. 3 players. If you go back, listen to Dan Besbris and Alex Reclean. They did a show yesterday, I believe, about sort of the new look top 12 according to Alex Reclean. He had Jalen Johnson as a possibility in that range, and I don't disagree. Jalen Williams, I think you could have in there as well. Amen Thompson is interesting, very interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of chatter about him. Just recapping those picks after Donovan Mitchell, who went with the first pick in the second round, we had Jaren Jackson, Steph Curry, Jalen Williams, LaMelo Ball, Evan Mobley, Tyrese Maxey, Tatum. That's obviously an auto pick. So for some reason, Pomborski, who joined the draft and then just isn't in the draft. So I'll find out who that is. And just unless there's a reason, he won't be back. But look, it does get Tatum off the board. It probably adjusts these rankings a little bit. So we had Tatum, of course, we're not drafting Tatum. Devin Booker, LeBron James, Derek White, Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant at pick 24. I love that. I'm not a Kevin Durant guy, but I feel like this season could be pretty solid for him. I think he is someone you could put in the conversation as a first rounder. Still no Jalen Johnson. I would be all over Jalen Johnson if I was in this draft. And I would be starting to consider Amen Thompson as well. He was a top 15 player down the stretch last year. I'm not saying he'll be a top 15 player, but I certainly think I'd be looking at him in the second round. Halliburton, okay, so Pomborski, whatever. It's just going to get some names off the board at least. So we had Şengün, who went after Kevin Durant, Scotty Barnes, Sabonis, Franz Wagner. Halliburton, we're not drafting him. Isaiah Mobley, I think. I think. Hang on, let me actually just pause this. Because I think, hang on. I've paused. But don't. Okay, how do I rewind this? Undo last pick. There we go. So we have rewound. So I'll just put, what's his name? Hydra something. At Hydra. I'll just tell him you can have your pick again, but don't draft Amen Thompson. All right, let's... there we go. Okay. So he had been drafting. That's why I rewound it. Like I said, I hadn't... I hadn't rewound the other ones, but because there's only one. Okay, so he's gone... he went with OG, but whatever. I don't think he wanted OG there. Obviously not. I'm not rewinding it again. Yeah, I mean, you come into these drafts, you need to be prepared for a 22nd pick. It is quick. It's really quick. That's the idea of this. It gets it done. I don't take up hours of people's days. Still no Jalen Johnson. Am I missing something here? Why is Jalen Johnson not going? This is really weird. Okay, so we had Şengün, Scotty Barnes, Sabonis, Wagner, Halliburton, we don't care. Anunoby, who that was an auto draft, but he said he's okay with him there. Amen Thompson, Jalen Brunson, Dyson Daniels, Pascal Siakam. Man, Jalen Johnson is the bargain of this draft so far. I know, look, maybe people are just off him a little bit because Porzingis is there. Is that potentially? But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Jalen Johnson just does everything. Garland goes with the 11th pick of the 3rd round. Dyson Daniels, pick 9, round 3 is interesting. I think that's where people are going to take him in the 3rd round. Obviously, he's a weird fantasy player in terms of his value is tied up in basically one category. Desmond Bane goes with the final pick of the 3rd round, so 36. That's a good pick, I think, by Thunder Dan, and he backs that up with Ivica Zubac. There goes Banchero. Still no Jalen Johnson. Who else hasn't been picked yet? Let's just scroll through. Now, I know if you put this by flex, I can actually look at rank. Yeah, we don't want the rank. So we're up to pick, what are we at? Pick 40. So Jimmy Butler just went off the board. Who hasn't gone, who I think probably should be? Well, Jalen Johnson, I've mentioned him 1,000 times. De'Aaron Fox still sitting there. Now I know, obviously in San Antonio with all the pieces now, he's probably not going to do as much. But I think I probably would have taken him inside the top 40. Jordan Poole will be interesting to see where he goes now. Playing in New Orleans. Who else is sitting there? We haven't really had the run of centers yet. So we haven't had the Mark Williams. Who else? I feel like there was Jalen Duren was in that. Naz Reid. Oh, that's auto pick. That's fine. Here we go. Here goes some centers. Miles Turner, Chet Holmgren. Yeah, we still don't have, if we just sort here, we've still got Walker Kessler sitting there, Jalen Duren, Mark Williams, Jalen Johnson, for whatever reason. Do people just forget that he exists? Jarrett Allen, Jakob Poeltl, Okongwu, be interesting to see where he goes with Porzingis there now. Embiid, no thanks. Yeah, we got a few question marks here. There goes Kawhi. There goes Jordan Poole. I'm really tempted to just put in the chat here, do people know that Jalen Johnson exists? That was surely an oversight that he fell that far. He goes at pick 52. Now, I can 100% guarantee Jalen Johnson is not falling to the 4th pick of the 5th round. If he's falling that far in any drafts that I'm in, it won't happen in any drafts that I'm in, because I'm happy to take him inside the top 20, 25. Obviously, the later you can get him, the better. Then we had Vooch, Jamal Murray, Alex Sarr, and Draymond Green. Draymond Green. Not for me, but if you like Draymond, sure. There goes DeRozan. He's solid in that range. We're sort of into the range now where it's not very exciting. Like Austin Reeves will go in here somewhere, I think. Jalen Green, no, he might go a bit later. Miles Bridges. Oh, Ja Morant, another one. That's actually, I'd miss him as well. Ja Morant goes... The rankings are weird here, and people didn't really have time to set a queue. So I will sort of preface by saying that there wasn't a lot of prep here. So it's not completely surprising that some of these players are falling. So let's finish off the 5th round. Where did I get up to? Draymond Green, DeMar DeRozan. Onyeka Okongwu goes with the 10th pick of the 5th round. Ja Morant, Jarrett Allen, Denny Avdia. So still no Mark Williams. So people are maybe a bit cautious on him now that Phoenix have 2 centers, or 3 if you include Nick Richards. We don't include Nick Richards for those keeping track. Rudy Gobert, that's fine. He was pretty disappointing last year, if I'm being honest. I had him in a couple of spots. He was serviceable, but the blocks were down. The points were down. It was. Austin Reeves goes. I'd much rather Austin Reeves in a vacuum. Now I know, obviously, if you're looking at certain categories, you would go Gobert. I would have Kessler over Gobert quite comfortably. I know the whole Utah thing is it's a thing, but yeah, I'd still go Kessler, I think. Duren, I'd go Duren over both of those guys, even if it's just because I'm more confident he will play out the whole season. I don't think he has the defensive upside of either player, but the Pistons, I think, could push for a top 2, top 3 seed in the East this year. Fred VanVleet goes. This is a good range for VanVleet. Last year he was going in the 30s, 40s. It ended up being way too high. So getting him with the 7th pick of the 6th round, it's good. Brook Lopez, Isaiah Hartenstein, Zach LaVine. Yeah, I think that's good for LaVine. Hartenstein, I think that's fine if you need a center. So that was Trials or Trials. I'm not sure how we say that, but they actually drafted Chet as well. So there's a little bit of it's not a handcuff necessarily, but yeah, if Holmgren goes down, Hartenstein steps up and vice versa. Then we had Andrew Wiggins. I'm not a Wiggins guy. Mark Williams goes with the last pick of the 6th round. I don't mind that for Mark Williams because I think he will start. I think he will play 28 minutes. I know they drafted Malawach, but I think Williams will be the starter. Lowry, Markkanen. Look, value-wise, that's really good for Markkanen, but we know, again, much like with Walker Kessler, how much does he actually play? Peyton Pritchard, I think Pritchard is okay there. I mean, he's going to play a bigger role with Tatum gone, with Drew Holiday gone, with Porzingis gone. Julius Randle, Emmanuel Quickly, Jaden McDaniels, Kristaps Porzingis, and Lou Dort. Porzingis, I love Porzingis there. I know there's a bit of an injury cloud, which never goes away, but getting him middle of the 7th round feels really good. Lou Dort for Chad, that's interesting. I wouldn't be taking Lou Dort in a standard league draft, but okay. Cam Thomas. Look, if we get the good injury-free version of Cam Thomas, this is great value. Mikal Bridges, really good value there as well. 9th pick of the 7th round. Miles Bridges goes after him. Decent value there as well. I'm very curious to see what the Hornets look like this season. Obviously, injuries and trajectory, there's a lot of questions, but I think they have a good starting 5. Knipple, I think he's going to be a really good fit there. Zion goes with the 11th pick of the 7th round. I love that value as well. Kobe White, 12th pick of the 7th round. That's fine. Giddey did go. I'm sure I saw Giddey go much earlier, didn't I? I'm not dreaming when I probably read out his name. And yeah, there we go. He went 10th pick of the 4th round. So what's that? 46. Yeah, that's okay. Stephon Castle. Don't know about him. Don't know. Is Chris Paul back? He probably is, but yeah, they drafted some pieces that are going to play right away, I think. So I don't mind Castle there. We're getting into sort of, especially in an early mock draft like this, we're getting into sort of flyer territory a little bit. We're at pick 87 now. So Raphael Johnson, so he's in this as well. He auto-drafted Andrew Nembhard, said he wanted pods, but he's okay with that. I don't mind Nembhard there. I think he's going to play a huge role. He doesn't have a lot of upside, but he's fairly safe as a top 100 top 90 player, and he went at pick like 87. So I don't think there is a lot of value, but I think he's fairly safe. Anthony Simons went after him, then Brandon Miller, Topic, Cam Johnson, Michael Porter Jr. and Paul George. If Paul George is healthy and you're getting him at pick 93, that's incredible value. Jakob Poeltl, Tamani Kamara. So we might start to see some of these specialists coming off the board now. And obviously flyers. We're into the 9th round, so 4 rounds to go. Scoot Henderson goes with the final pick of the 8th round, then Tari Eason on the way back. Tari, I don't really know what I think about Tari yet. I'm going to have to sort of break that down. I thought he was exposed a little bit in the playoffs. Now, he's obviously going to play a fairly significant role with the changes that have come there, but I'm not sold on him yet. Bilal Koulibaly went with the 2nd pick of the 9th round. Norm Powell, DeAndre Ayton, Christian Brown, Kyrie Irving. So Kyrie Irving. So the settings here had 8 active, 4 bench. So Hydrazorb 10, who took Kyrie. That was in the 9th round. So he's got his 8 starters. Kyrie, then you just move him straight to an IR spot. CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Devin Vassell. How does Ingram fit in Toronto? What is he going to look like? We didn't see because his leg. Sorry, I'm just reading. It looks like there's stuff happening on Twitter. Let me just have a look. Okay, let me have a look because something happened. Oh, no, it's just the Edwards Philadelphia thing. It's fine. Have we got something going on in the chat? Oh, no. Okay, we're all good. Okay, where do we get up to? Sort of Brandon Ingram. So 9th pick of the 9th round, Devin Vassell. Keegan Murray, Jalen Suggs, Shaden Sharp to round out the 9th round. Then we've got Dan Gafford, Dylan Harper, Tobias Harris. No Cooper Flagg yet. I don't think. Have we? Let's have a look. Oh, no, he has. So Cooper Flagg did go. How did I miss that? Unless he's not. No, he'd be in there. Oh, there he is. So Cooper Flagg went with the 6th pick of the 4th round to Chad. So what are we looking at there? 42? I think he goes higher than that. I don't think he will be a 4th rounder. I think he'll be a 3rd rounder. He may push into the 2nd round. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if if in some leagues, Cooper Flagg goes in the top 15. Like someone with the 11th or 10th pick takes someone really safe, like Kevin Durant, I suppose. He's safe in terms of overall value, but sorry, I'm just trying to, this is going to keep scrolling me down. Like if I was picking at pick, I would say if I was at pick 10, I would certainly look at Cade at pick 10 and then coming back, if I just wanted to fun team, and sometimes I do just draft for fun. I mean, it's always meant to be fun. But if I took Cade, would I consider Flagg? I don't know. It'd be, it would be fun. I'd also look at Jalen Johnson there, pairing him up with Cade. I know, punting, throw all that in. I'm not sure, but yeah. Look, anyway, overarching theme there is that I don't think Flagg will fall to 42. I think he will go inside the top 30, potentially inside the top 20. But where did we get up to? Did we get up to Tobias Harris, who went with the 3rd pick of the 10th round? Then we had Asar Thompson, RJ Barrett, Karis LeVert, Benedict Mathurin, Damian Lillard, Khalil Ware, Nick Claxton, TJ McConnell, Scottie Pippen to round out the 10th round. Into the 11th round, Mattis Buzelis, love that pick. Bub Carrington, Kyle Kuzma, Malik Monk, Russell Westbrook, Drew Holiday, Max Christie, Chris Paul, D'Angelo Russell. Once this draft is done, I will quickly just go through each round. So if you've missed it, don't worry too much. And I will just sort of highlight maybe my favourite pick. There goes Malawak or Malawach. I think it's Malawach. 10th pick of the 11th round. I like it. I think he feels like he would only need 22 to 23 minutes to be a top 100 player. Very good defensively, efficient. He probably will only get 20 to 22 minutes, but Mark Williams is certainly not a picture of health. So if he gets injured at any point and Malawach steps into a 28, 29-minute role, he could be top 60, top 50. Think sort of Walker Kessler-ish. DeJounte Murray, now he's obviously out until probably January, so another stash. Quentin Grimes hasn't yet re-signed, I don't think, with Philly, but obviously finished last season really strongly. So, yeah, I don't mind taking a flyer on him. Keon Ellis. He's okay. I'm not a Keon guy, but maybe that'll be my downfall. Derek Lively. Who have we got? Let's have a look. If we just scroll through some ranks here. PJ Washington still on the board. He'd be a fairly good, safe late round target. Look, there's a lot of players that could potentially have big roles if we scroll through here. Pods is still there. It's weird that Raf said he wanted Pods when he took Nemhard, and that was 4 rounds ago, and Pods is still there. I'd absolutely be all over Pods at the moment. Who else is sitting here? Keyshawn George. I think he might start for Washington. Who have we had? Cason Wallace went after Derek Lively. Keontae George. Malik, I was going to say Michael Beasley. Malik Beasley. Grayson Allen. Yeah, I'm not sure where Grayson fits. There goes PJ. I like that. Dylan Brooks. This is the auto drafting team, Dylan Brooks. So John Collins. Chad. Raf is here. Raf. He's sniping already. We love to see it. All right, and we're done. So John Collins, we finished off with Klay Thompson, Kyle Filipowski, and Brandon Williams. Let's just quickly bring up the draft board. There we go. Hopefully people can see that. Actually, let's make it full screen. I should have done this early, shouldn't I? Made it full screen. My bad. All right, let's go through. Let's recap very quickly. First round, as I said, fairly predictable top 4. Jokic, Wemby, Shea, Luka. James Harden went at 5. That was an auto draft. I think he's in the discussion as a top 6 player. I personally wouldn't be taking him that high. I'd have Anthony Davis in there. He would probably be my number 5, and then it's just a free for all. So I think if we look at the next few picks, and I'll include Harden. So if we go Harden, Anthony Edwards, Trae Young, Giannis, Cat, I'll go Cade, I'll go Curry. And like I said, Jalen Johnson, Jalen Williams, those guys potentially, but they're sort of all in that mix, I think, as first rounders. Bam, I wouldn't have him as a first rounder, but maybe. I mean, Miami don't really have a lot of talent at the moment. I know they've got Tyler Hero, but people know my thoughts on him. So anyway, we had after Harden, we had AD, then Edwards, Trae Young, Giannis, Cat, Bam Adebayo, Cade to finish out the first round. Then we had Donovan Mitchell, Jaren Jackson, Steph Curry, Jalen Williams, LaMelo Ball. Curious to see where he ends up going this season. Evan Mobley, Tyrese Maxey. Mobley, I think, might push close to being a first rounder. Tyrese Maxey, Jason Tatum, auto pick. Devin Booker, LeBron James, Derek White, Kevin Durant. Derek White, interesting there. I think per game he's going to have to do a lot, but what do Boston do in March is the question for me. So, I'm not sure. Third round, Şengün, Scotty Barnes, Sabonis, Wagner, Halliburton, which was an auto pick, Anunoby, Amen Thompson, Jalen Brunson, Dyson Daniels, Pascal Siakam, Darius Garland, and Desmond Bane. Favorite pick? Well, everyone knows I love Dyson. I think this is probably where you're going to have to take him in the third round, but he's going to be very specific build-wise. So you'd want to be... Yeah, I'm just looking at that roster. I mean, he's good in a punt free throw build, and this team has gone Giannis, Jaylen Brown, Walker Kessler. And so it's sort of a soft, probably, well, maybe not a soft because you've got Giannis, but a punt free throw build. So Dyson does fit that build. I would say he's good in a punt point, but drafting Giannis, Jalen Williams, Jaylen Brown, DeMar DeRozan, they're all fairly solid point scorers, so I don't mind Dyson there. Amen Thompson is potentially my favourite pick of that round. So what are we looking at there? 31. Again, I don't think he falls that far. I think he'll go inside the top 30, potentially as a second rounder. Fourth round, Ivica Zubac, Banchero, Jimmy Butler, Jaylen Brown, Trey Murphy, Cooper Flagg, Miles Turner, Naz Reid, that was an auto pick, Chet Holmgren, Josh Giddey, Josh Hart, De'Aaron Fox. Trey Murphy is going to be a very interesting one next season as well. We'll see where his ADP settles, but he was fantastic last year. I think this is probably, he will go inside the top 50, probably inside the top 40. Cooper Flagg, like I said, I think he will push into at least the third round, if not the second round, when all is said and done. I like De'Aaron Fox there at the back end of the fourth round. Fifth round, Kawhi Leonard, Jordan Poole, Tyler Hero, Jalen Johnson, Nikola Vucevic, Jamal Murray, Alex Sarr, Draymond Green, DeMar DeRozan, Onyeka Okongwu, Ja Morant, and Jarrett Allen. Well, Jalen Johnson's my favourite pick, but I guarantee he doesn't fall this far. I think he was overlooked for whatever reason. Or maybe I'm just way too high on him. That could also be a possibility. Who else do I like in this round? Poole, I'm intrigued with Jordan Poole. This is sort of where he was last year, like top 50-ish. And with no DeJounte Murray for a while, I think Poole could be pretty good. Okongwu, I'm not sure about there. A bit of his upside was probably shaved off with the acquisition of Kristaps Porzingis. Sixth round, Denny Avdia, Gobert, Reeves, Kessler, Embiid, Duran, Van Fleet, Lopez, Hartenstein, Levine, Wiggins, Mark Williams. Who do I like? I think Van Fleet, I think that's good value for someone that can get you a lot of steals and a lot of assists. I think Levine is decent in this range if you just need points. Mark Williams, look, if he starts and plays 68 games and 28, 30 minutes a night, this is amazing value. I like Duran there, sixth pick of the sixth round, so we're sort of bang in the middle of the draft there. I think, as I said, I would have him over Kessler, definitely over Gobert. Embiid I'm not touching this season. Would I have Duran over Vooch? Maybe. I'm just sort of comparing him to centers here. I'd have him over Okongwu. I'd have him over Jarrett Allen. I don't know if I'd have him over Zubac. So I like the Duran pick here. Then we had, where are we? Seventh round. Markkanen, Pritchard, Randall, Quickly, McDaniels, Porzingis, Dort, Thomas, Bridges, McHale, then Miles, Zion, and Kobe White. I love Zion. Again, always risk, but I'm always a sucker for Zion. Who else do I like? Quickly, I think this is good value for Quickly. People are down on him a bit because of last season, but I thought he looked pretty good when he was healthy. He was going inside the top 40, top 50 last season, and he's gone with the fourth pick of the seventh round here. So I think that's good value. Jaden McDaniels had really good stretches last year. I'm still not 100% convinced, but I don't mind taking a chance on him here. Porzingis, good value if he stays healthy. Cam Thomas, likewise. Let's go eighth round. Stephon Castle, Jalen Green, Nemhard, Simons, Brandon Miller, Topic, Cam Johnson, Michael Porter, Paul George, Jakob Poeltl, Tamani Kamara, Scoot Henderson. Scoot, a lot of question marks about what he does next season. Does he start? They've obviously moved off Anthony Simons. Drew Holiday is there but doesn't want to be there, so does he stick around? I mean, they've taken on Drew a lot of money. They either, if he stays in Portland, they're going to play him, or they try to move him. So that if he stays, I think he impacts Scoot. I like Kamara there as a bit of a specialist. He sort of a breakout last season. I'm not sure what his ceiling is, but he certainly made pretty big strides on the offensive end as well. Paul George, really good value if he stays healthy. Brandon Miller, I think that's good value there as well. Again, he gets that Hornets asterisk next to his name, as does, well, pretty much anyone on the Hornets. Simons, let's see whether he stays in Boston, but if so, what's his role? 9th round, Tari Eason, Koulibaly, Powell, Ayton, Brown, Christian Brown, Irving, McCollum, Ingram, Vassell, Keegan Murray, Suggs, and Shaden Sharp. I think Vassell's okay there. We'll see what he looks like this season. He was somewhat disappointing last year. Ingram, I think, is good value if his leg has regrown. No one sort of jumps out in that round to me. Norm Powell, I feel like last year might be his best season. Suggs, with the acquisition of Desmond Bain, I think he takes a hit. 10th round, Gafford, Dylan Harper, Tobias Harris, Asar Thompson, RJ Barrett, Levert, Mathurin, Lillard, Khalil Ware, Claxton, TJ McConnell, and Scottie Pippen. So we're starting to get some flyers now and some stashes. Asar Thompson, I think, is pretty good in this range. Top 100, could be top 60 if everything falls into place. I think his floor is probably top 100 anyway. He'll play enough. Dylan Harper, yeah, look, I'm not sure on him there. But again, take a bit of a flyer. Who else have we got? Khalil Ware again. Yeah, I think that's fine. TJ, look, I would love for TJ to play 28 minutes a night. I'm just not sure he will. We saw last year, even when Halliburton was injured, and the year before, that they weren't confident in just rolling TJ out for 30 minutes a night. He stuck at about 22, 24, which is probably enough for him to have some value. If they don't acquire anyone, if they just run back this roster without Halliburton, I think McConnell will be draftable. I just don't know if we're going to get the 30 minutes a night that we would love from TJ McConnell. But look, maybe they do. Maybe they just go to hell with this season. Let's see what TJ can give us. Round 11, Buzelis, Carrington, Kuzma, Monk, Westbrook, Holiday, Christie, Paul, Chris Paul, D'Angelo Russell, Mulawach, DeJounte Murray, and Quentin Grimes. I like Buzelis here. I'd say he's probably my favourite pick. You've got some sort of safe guys there. Chris Paul, D'Angelo Russell, Drew Holiday, Malik Monk. Monk can be better than this, but Sacramento are a bit of a mess. Mulawach, nice flyer to take. Like I said, if Williams gets injured, absolutely, this is a good pick. But even still, I think Mulawach plays enough to have some back-end value. And we finished off with Keon Ellis, Derek Lively, Kaysen Wallace, Keontae George, Malik Beasley, Grayson Allen, PJ Washington, Dylan Brooks. That was an auto draft, thankfully. John Collins, Klay Thompson, Kyle Filipowski, and Brandon Williams. Who do I like in there? Washington, very safe. I'm not sure what the guard sort of situation in Utah is going to end up looking like, so I'm okay with Keontae George there. Brandon Williams is intriguing. Whatever Dallas decide to do with that point guard spot, they have options. I hope they don't go the Dinwiddie path because why? What's the point? Brandon Williams was pretty impressive to close last season. If he starts, I would absolutely think you have to draft him. Summer League will be a good potentially indicator of which direction they're going to go, because he will probably play. Jaden Hardy will probably play. Dinwiddie won't, but I think if Williams can stand up in Summer League and play really well, he could start for them. I'm just not sure they bring someone in, because they have Cooper Flagg who can handle the ball. Anthony Davis, to some level, can handle the ball. And Kyrie obviously will be back at some point. So I don't mind Brandon Williams. Ryan Rowlands wasn't drafted. He is someone I don't mind taking in the last round. Let's move this off the screen. Let's stop sharing. There we go. So Ryan Rowlands. Look, there were a few names there that weren't drafted. Let me see if I can just have a look at quickly some players that I would consider late round flyers. Where we sit right now. Let's go. Oh, look, there's a few here. Pajemski, he wasn't drafted. I'm very surprised he wasn't drafted. Obi Toppin, if he plays enough. Wendell Carter, again, very back end, but he's a starting center in the NBA, so you've got to give him a look. Colin Sexton, Jabari Smith, Jeremy Grant. Who's the starting center in Boston? We still don't know, but I guess Cornette, if for some reason he starts, he has a pretty friendly fantasy game. Bobby Portis, Aaron Gordon, I guess. Jeremy Sohan, Jonathan Kuminga, Isaiah Collier. Nurkic, does he start at center for the Hornets? Maybe. This guy, I mean, there's names around here. Day'Ron Sharp, what does his role look like? Although I wouldn't really trust anyone in Brooklyn. Who's the starting center for the Lakers? That's another. There's a lot of questions. I mean, we're 4 months out, so yeah, make of this what you will. Yeah, so look, there's a few names there, some rookies that weren't drafted. So plenty to happen. This was more just a step one in a long list of steps to get to September, October when we're drafting. But that will do. I'm going to let everyone who's listening, I'll let you go. I've kept you for 43 minutes and I have things to do. We might do another draft. Probably not before Summer League, but maybe once I'm back from Summer League. So in about a month, we might roll out draft number 2. And then we'll probably do one every 1 to 2 weeks for a month, 2 months. And then it'll be weekly, multiple per week. So, go and find me at AdamKing91 on Twitter and Blue Sky. Go and find the Old Man Squad at Old Man Squad on Twitter, and Dan, who is at Old Man Squad on Blue Sky, but at Dan Vesperis on Twitter. Noah as well, who has been pumping out the draft content, the Dynasty content. He's done way too many shows. Go and find him at Noah Rubin on Twitter and Blue Sky. Jump over to our YouTube channel. Subscribe. Somehow our numbers are going up, despite the fact that we're in the doldrums here. So numbers are going up, which is great. We are going to be ramping up in the next, well, I won't say the month because I'm away and people are busy. But once we hit August, it's going to be go time for Old Man Squad and all of our content. So come and join us and should be a fun ride. But that will do. I think I'll be back. I might do another show before I go. I don't know what I'll talk about, but I'll see you soon. We're done.